Back where I belong. Fuck me. Look at the river. That's the river, that's the floodplain. It's actually not that cold. Not today. So then. Fuck. Fuck, this is the highest I've seen it. I've gone through it with it caught way up the bollards, but the bollards have actually disappeared. That's how deep it is, look. Fucking hell. Fuck, look, it's nearly up to the top of the footbridge. Obviously not a mega fast, but fuck, that's enough to move your truck when it's that deep. Like I say, I've been through it like top of the tyre height with this sort of current, and even that's enough to like blow you sideways. As you're coming along, you're sort of crabbing, if you like. But look, so the washes, when they flood, that floods Welney, and that floods, obviously Meatball's not got a road going across it, but that all floods, all the plain, Gault and Erith, and there's another lock at Erith, so yeah. Just look at it. I've just had to fucking wade through some water to get off the footbridge, it's that high. Look at it. So usually, that's probably, I don't know, that's got to be about 5-6 foot deep in water, at least. Because you can usually come down the bank and come to where this tree is. Just look at it, you can't even tell where the river is. So this one, this is the old Bedford, and you see that sign right in the distance over there, look? That floats in the river, and we've been up there, and there's a little box chained to, like, I don't know what it is, underwater, and that's where they get the height of the river on like the Environment Agency website. So that's what that is. And yeah, look, so this is the old Bedford, and that's actually spilled across, if you like. You can't see the join, but it's usually in between those two bits there, and there's a little like private road track, if you like, that goes all the way from there down to near the Erith. But you can actually, I don't think it's a byway, but it's a bridleway, whatever. You can ride your bikes down there, and I've actually, as a kid, biked all the way down there, and you go left and you come out parallel with the new Bedford, and then I got chased by some cows, which was quite nice. They can run pretty fast. But yeah, look. So as kids, we was always playing around here, and we took a raft, we hid a raft up behind a shed further up road, which we'd made out of oil barrels and some fence posts, and we chucked it in that one, start off with, rode to Meeple, had pub lunch, rode back, and I can't remember why the fuck we did it. We pulled it out halfway, run along these fields because they weren't flooded, and then we rode back halfway on the old Bedford. Look. It's just so high, I just can't get my head around it. It's the highest I've seen it since I've been alive. It's a pity there's no depth markers here. There is at Welney, and there is at up at Erith. It's quite a sight though. I'd never seen it up to the bottom of the footbridge. It's probably only 3 or 4 inches from the bottom of the footbridge. So yeah, do I fancy it? I'd fucking love to, but yeah, not this deep. But you can't even see the bollards. The bollards ain't even visible at the ends. So, what do you reckon? So we're on the second telegraph pole from the anchor, and that's about 2 foot away from that yellow sticker thing. It's got to be about 2 foot, 2.5 foot. So when it's down, and we're down here another day, I'll have to whip tape measure out, because like I say, there's no depth markers. It's about 3 or 4 inches off the bottom of the footbridge, and yeah, I just can't get my head around it. But if there were no current, like if there was no current coming across it, I'd definitely be up for giving it a shot in Black Thunder with a good gearbox. Not with a fucked gearbox, no thank you, know my luck. Probably conk out halfway through. But yeah, like I say, I done, what was it? I was 18. I've probably done half metre through Welney, which was quite a stretch. So Welney's obviously like half mile long. And went through that one, that sign said half metre, and it's obviously deeper in places. But yeah, never done anything that long, that deep, you know. I've been in and out of stuff, fucking hell, we've been bonnet deep, but straight out again. But when you're going through stuff like that, you bonnet deep, you know, for a good long while, you think, fuck, I don't know, poor old alternator's underwater, which I've already killed one alternator doing that. Yeah, so this is the New Bedford, and it's not got far to go before she comes over, but I don't think she will, because the level's on the way back down now. What do you reckon? Maybe we'll have a walk to Charlie's, the long way. I know I keep saying it, but I'm just fucking amazed at how high it is. I always say to Charlie, I say, yeah, when the gault comes up again, we'll give it a go. Yeah. His truck was off the road because he's only got 2-wheel drive. And he said about giving Welney a go, and he goes, I don't fancy that in 2-wheel drive. Not when the back starts floating, I'm just fucking sat there. And I've obviously got fucking dodgy gearbox. So, I mean, probably nothing will happen, but you never know. No, my luck, that'll pretty fucking shit the bed halfway through. And I'll be HMS Stranded Ranger. But I think it's going to be up for a while. Like, it'll take a while to drain off. Welney's usually up for a couple of weeks. So, we'll see. But I do fancy it if there's not much current. I've never done much fast flowing stuff. It always gets me a bit, oh fuck, how much is too much, you know? Because obviously if you go through it, oh, he's not going to do it, is he? No. Obviously when you go through it and you've got like quarter of a turn on the steering wheel, you think, there's a fair bit here, you know, it's pushing me. But how much does it get to where, you know, you're pushing you and you're trying to keep straight until it spins you? That's the thing I don't, you know, I don't know. Because then you've got to steer the other way and fucking, yeah, don't know. But I suppose that's just experience, isn't it, you know? We done gas stacking years ago, but I fucking bottled it on the last bit. I can't remember how deep it was, but it was deep enough that, novice that I was like, oh, I don't know about this, you know? And then from everyone else that I'd heard and spoke to that had done it, they said, yeah, just before you come out the river and turn left, your bonnet disappears and then you come back out up a sharp slope. And it would get into like bumper deep, and I thought, yeah, I've not turned the fucking corner yet, I don't really fancy this. And the mate behind me is in a Frontierer, standard Frontierer with 2-inch lift, and I was like, nah, this is a fucking recipe for disaster, like 300 mile away from home, let's not do that, you know, we've still got a week's holiday to fucking enjoy. So yeah, whenever we can, we'll do a bit of flood water to get some practice, you know, practice makes perfect, doesn't it? I said to Dad one year, do you fancy going through the gault? And he's like, okay, you know, like, I think it must have been at Christmas or something, and I was down with Dad's, and I said, hey, you never been through a flood, have you? Let me take you Black Thunder. So he nipped down to the gault, and I took him through, and he's like, you know, fucking loving it. And then he goes, what are you going to do now? I said, well, I'm not driving up to Chatteris and round again, I'll just fucking do a 3-pointer and go back through it. And yeah, it's fucking beaming, absolutely beaming. People always get a smile on their face when you've been through it and they see you do a 3-pointer in front of them. And they're like, yes. So obviously a standard range you can wade, but you're kind of limited. Obviously water looks flat on the top, but it ain't always flat on the bottom. You're limited basically to just below the side light. The bottom of the side light is like absolute maximum before it starts sucking up water. But even before that, your diffs are underwater. So anything higher than about 15, 17 inches, that kind of height on a standard Ranger, water's going to start to rush over the top of the axle or the back, and yeah, basically you can risk getting water in. More so if it's submerged. But on a standard Ranger, if you get some diff breathers, and then you haven't got a snorkel, you can basically go to the bottom of the side light, and even though your diffs are underwater, you ain't going to pick up, you know, you're not going to draw in any water. And the gearbox ones will, they'll be, you know, they'll be pretty safe at that height, to be honest. They'll probably be just poking above the water. And obviously if you get a snorkel, you can go deeper, but then everything else is a bit more underwater, so you need to look at like putting a breather on the diesel tank and the gearbox and the transfer case. And then you start getting your alternator underwater and your cam belt and all that shit. So you want to make sure your cam belt cover's screwed on nice and, you know, sealed up. Airbox on a Mark II ain't particularly waterproof either, so you can put some blue tack or some modelling clay or something around the edge of the air filter, seal that up. But ultimately, you know, fit a Mark III airbox that's got a good seal on the top, and it's just better the way it seals up. It's got foam around the sides, so yeah.